Okay, this is the Inn. This is a 40-piece set. This is the one I had made for the instructions on the website, for the Hirst website. Now this Inn is scaled for 28mm figures, or Dungeons and Dragons figures. The walls and the floor are all made of dental stone, which is mounted on foam core, and foam core is it's paper on both sides and foam in between, and it's almost a 1/4 inch thick, but it's black foam core, so it won't scratch up your table, and it kind of pads it when you stack pieces up. Now this is the one set that I had made when I made the instructions for the website. This is the only set I had ever made. So if you've ever been to Gen Con, I did this back in 2013. So this is what was sitting on the table when people would walk by and look at it. Now you will notice that all of the furniture is glued down, okay? Everything in here, everything is glued down in place, and I did that for the display so that things wouldn't go missing or disappear or get knocked all over the place when kids were playing with it, that sort of thing. So that may determine if you want to buy it. If you didn't want everything glued into place, well, it's pretty well stuck there, so you won't be able to rearrange the furniture on this particular set. The walls and the floor are made of dental stone, and this whole set weighs probably about 15 pounds altogether. But I do want to say that all of the interior accessories, the bookcases, the crates, the books, everything is cast in resin. So these are all resin pieces that are on here, and everything's painted and everything is glued permanently in place. Now, in addition to the rooms, or between the rooms, we have 4 of each size of floor tile here. This one right here is going 6 across by 2. There's a 4 by 2, and then there's a 2 by 2. These are 1-inch squares. So just like Dungeons and Dragons, those are 1-inch squares. And these are actually meant to go between the rooms. So if you have a room, let's say like this room right here, basically what you can do is you can put a chunk of floor between it, like that, and then you can put another room up to it somewhat like this. So they will line up like that, and you can put another floor piece here, and then you can put another room. Let's say if I put one back here, that would line up back there, or I could make it just simply go across. What I'm going to do now is show you an example of each room. This right here is a Warhammer Fantasy figure. It's 28mm tall. In other words, it's 28mm from the floor till to his eye height is what that is. So you kind of see how he kind of compares to the furniture, to the table, to the fireplace, and I'll put him in each of the rooms as I display each of the rooms. So this is what's called the Great Room. It's got the fireplace in there, it's got the tables and the chairs, and I can kind of turn it around and you can kind of see what the other side of it. This is what the back side of the actual piece looks like. So that right there is the Great Room. The next room I'm showing right here is the kitchen. Here's what the sample of the same miniature is. You can kind of see what it looks like size-wise in the kitchen. So this is kind of what the details are on one side of it here, and I can kind of turn it and you can see that there's some shelves over here, some crates in the corner, and then of course a doorway. This trapdoor actually will come out if you want it to. It's actually, I don't know if you can see, but you can actually push that and you can push that out, and that basically is supposed to lead to the cellar. This is the cellar, which is a little bit smaller room. Here once again is the miniature that I'm using for scale, and here's kind of the details on it. There are no windows. There's only the one small staircase going up on it. So this is kind of the detail of what's inside this little cellar piece here. The next room here is the bar, and here's the miniature for comparison. So you can kind of see this is how the bar is painted up on this side. You can kind of get a view of the side wall here, kind of get a view of the back tables, the windows, and then kind of going around around this way. Those are the details that are in this particular room here. Here's a set of booths in the inn. Once again, here's the figure, but I'll kind of zoom in on that, and that's what that looks like with all of the pieces in place. There's actually a door. I do want to mention these doors are also glued in. I mean, you could probably a little bit easier to break them out, but anytime you see a door in, it is actually glued in so that I wouldn't lose that thing. So this right here is basically what the set of booths is. Next room we have here is the office. It's got a little desk in the middle of it. Here's a little figure put in there. And so you can kind of see we've got bookshelves on one side. We've got shelves here that are glued in place. That could have been a doorway, depending on if you had built yourself a modular set following the instructions. You have a little more options as far as what you want to remove and what you want to put in place there. The final rooms that we have are bedrooms. This one is meant for halflings, just at least by the door anyway. The bed's regular size bed, so there's the what do you call that? Closet. I can't, the word eludes me. But then there's a little desk, and then there's the bed that's actually in the corner there, and that's how that figure compares size-wise on that particular bedroom. Wardrobe, that's the word. Yeah, wardrobe. Okay. This one right here has got a couple of windows on the front of it. Here's the miniature again. This one has got the dresser here. It's got the little fireplace on the inside. There's a door. Door is glued into place. We got a little bench against the window here, and the bed is kind of set back in the recess between the two pillars there. I think there's a little fire in the fireplace there as well on this particular bedroom. Final bedroom that we have is this one right here with the wardrobe. Yeah, and it's got a door right here, and then as you turn it around, you can kind of get the idea of the dresser that's there, different style of fireplace, and it's got kind of a nice window on the back here. So there's a window looking out. Backside or outside of the window looks something like that. Now there are also pillars that go along with this, and there's actually 12 different pillars. We've got these double pillars that are set on to foam core like this one, and then we have the single pillars that are just by themselves. And you notice the single pillars are a bit shorter. They're about ½ inch shorter than the other pillars, and they have their own specific purposes. I'm going to set these aside, but basically what it is we have two staircases that come with this set. This one right here is a square staircase, so you can kind of see all sides of the square staircase. And we also have a kind of a circular staircase. It's basically straight and it kind of circles up on the top. So basically what you can do is you can take this, and let's say if we set this on the floor like this, along with the set there's also a railing piece, and this railing piece is basically for an upper floor. So what we can do is you can take these pillars, set them underneath here, and that will actually fit right up against like that. So this will be so basically you have a balcony that's going off into nowhere here. And this will allow you to, if you take one of the bedrooms or one of the regular rooms, you can take it and you can set it up here on top of the pillars like that, so that you can kind of go upstairs and you can have access to that room right there. If we have another bedroom, where's another bedroom? There we go. So we could put another bedroom beside it like this, and it actually, two of them would go side by side. Like that. Let's angle this up a little bit. I think you could probably also put a regular room, because these are kind of in, you know, standard sizes. Let's see, what would the booths do? Would the booths fit up there? Yeah, okay, you can have an upper level of the tavern that people go up there and they like to eat up above. This staircase and the other, this staircase, this is kind of an example of what the miniature would look like on the stairs here. And here's what he looks like kind of on the upper level here. You could, if you wanted to, replace it with the circular stairway, and that would go like that. So that's basically what the circular stairway, and that's what the pillars are there for, at least the double pillars. Now the single pillars that are a little shorter, they're shorter by the distance or the thickness of the floor. So in this case, basically what you can do is, if you wanted to have the stairs go up and you wanted to have the balcony hang over the bar, you could set it up like this. But you'll notice that this kind of wants to fall down a little bit. It needs to be supported. Well, that's where these other pillars can come into place. You can actually take one of these pillars right here, set it under there, and it will actually set up straight. You know, you could put another one over here, but it kind of get in the way of the bar. But you know, nothing says that you have to use that particular side of the building for that particular balcony. Now the final pieces I hadn't shown are these little wall pieces right here. One is actually like a main door, a front door to the inn, and the others are just little walls to kind of close off. And those happen when you run to the end of the hallway and you don't want it just open out into the world. So basically, let me try to give you an example here. Let's say if we have the bar room on this side over here, and we have piece of hallway like right here. And then let's say for some reason we have like a bedroom on this side over here. Well, your inn just opens up out into the world. So you can take something like this front door, you can put it over here, and now that's the entrance that people go in the front door. If you wanted that to be a back wall, you'd probably just use one of these pieces and put along here, and then you've got a back wall. Oh, I also wanted to point out that on the bottom of the great room here, I had signed the thing right here. So that kind of lets you know that this is the actual thing that I had made. Well, that's pretty much it for this video. This shows how everything goes together. If you're interested in it, please bid on it. This is the only one I had ever made, so this is kind of a bit of history. These auctions help us to keep our business going.